You know that feeling, right? You get handed an app and it just feels slow, like it's wading through digital mud. And 9 times out of 10, the culprit is images. It's a classic performance problem, but figuring out where to start can be a real headache. While today, we're going to untangle that whole mess.
So, picture this. Your app is taking over 7 seconds to load. In internet time, that's an eternity. Users are bouncing, engagement is tanking, and it all comes back to those beautiful, but gigantic, images. This is a textbook performance bottleneck. So, where in the world do you even begin?
Here's our mission for today. We're going to take this app with its painful 8.8-second load time, and we're going to slice and dice it down to a lightning-fast 1.2 seconds. Now, I know that sounds crazy ambitious, but it is absolutely doable, and we're going to do it together step by step.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll run an audit to find the real troublemaker. Then we'll lay a solid foundation with compression and CDNs. After that, we'll upgrade to modern formats, get smart with our code, and finally add a little polish to really make it shine. Let's get into it. All right, first things first. Before you write a single line of code, you have to play detective. The #1 rule of optimization is measure first. You can't fix what you can't see, so let's figure out exactly what we're dealing with.
And here it is, our starting line. A largest contentful paint time, or LCP, of 8.8 seconds. Whew, that is rough. To give you some perspective, Google aims for under 2.5 seconds. So yeah, we've definitely got some work to do.
So we pop open the browser's DevTools, head to the Network tab, and bam! The culprit is staring us right in the face. It's this one file, a hero image that's 380 kilobytes. Not only is that way too big, but it's being served locally with the app's code instead of from a CDN, which is just a huge performance no-no.
Okay, we've identified our target. Now it's time for our first attack. And honestly, this is probably the most impactful one. We're going to hit it with the 1-2 punch of compression and a content delivery network. First up, let's put this image on a diet. I'm using an awesome online tool called Squoosh. We just drop the image in, apply some smart compression, and just like that, we've cut the file size from 380 KB down to 180 KB. That's more than half, and you literally can't see the difference. A huge win right out of the gate. Now, let's talk about geography for a second. If your user is in Sydney, should they really have to download an image from a server in New York? Of course not. That's where CDN, a content delivery network, comes in. It's a global network of servers that just serves the file from whichever one is closest to your user. It's a simple idea that makes a world of difference.
So when we move our new, smaller image to a CDN like Cloudinary, we get this amazing double whammy. 1, we're not bloating our app's initial download anymore, and 2, our users get the image delivered from a server that's practically in their backyard. It's a total win-win.
And would you look at that? Just from those 2 simple changes, compression and a CDN, our LCP has plummeted from a painful 8.8 seconds to 5.39. We've already chopped off almost 40% of our load time. That is a massive step in the right direction.
Okay, that's a fantastic start, but we are just getting warmed up. Now it's time to upgrade our tech and move out of the stone age of JPEGs and into the modern era of hyper-efficient image formats. Seriously, if you're still serving JPEGs for everything, you are leaving so much performance on the table. Formats like WEBP and AVIF are just miles ahead when it comes to compression. AVIF gives you the absolute smallest file sizes, but WEBP has incredible browser support, so it's a really safe and powerful bet.
And here's where a good Image CDN just feels like actual magic. You don't have to create 5 different versions of your image. You literally just change the file extension in the URL from .jpg to .avif, and the CDN does all the hard work for you. It is a complete game changer.
And boom, look at that! Just by switching from JPEG to the AVIF format, we have torpedoed our LCP down to 2.42 seconds. We are now officially inside Google's good performance window, and all we did was change 4 letters in a URL? How cool is that?
Okay, so the file itself is lean and mean, but think about this. We're still sending a giant desktop-sized image down to a tiny little phone screen. That's just wasteful. It's time to get smarter inside our code and serve the perfect-sized image to every single device.
The way we do this is with the HTML picture element. Think of it like a super smart IMG tag. It basically lets us give the browser a menu of choices. We can say, hey browser, if the screen is small, use this small, resized, lower quality version. But if it's a big desktop screen, use the big high-res one. The browser handles the rest.
Now this only brings our LCP down a tiny bit more, to 2.38 seconds. But the real win here isn't the number, it's the efficiency. We're no longer forcing our mobile users to waste their data downloading a massive image they don't even need. We're being good citizens of the web. We are in the home stretch now. Our image is small, it's modern, it's responsive. The very last piece of the puzzle is to just give the browser a little nudge and say, hey, you see this image right here? It's really, really important. Please load it first. And we can do that with a couple of simple HTML attributes. We give our hero image a fetch priority of high. It's like giving it a VIP pass to the front of the download line. Then, for all the other images on the page that aren't as important, we tell the browser to be lazy and load them later so they don't slow anything down.
So those priority hints give our initial load another nice little boost. But the real magic happens when a user comes back to our site. Because our CDN is set up with the right caching rules, the browser doesn't even have to re-download the image. It just pulls it from its local cache. The result, a mind-blowing LCP of just 1.22 seconds.
I mean, this timeline just says it all. Look at how each individual step chipped away at that load time. It's the cumulative effect that's so powerful. We went from a slow crawl to an absolute sprint, just by being methodical about how we handled this one critical image.
So, if you're going to remember anything from this, let it be this checklist. 1. Compress your images. 2. Use a CDN. 3. Serve modern formats. 4. Use the picture tag for responsive serving. 5. Prioritize your most important image. And 6. Make sure your caching is set up correctly. Nail these fundamentals and you'll be golden.
So we've made our images practically instantaneous. That is a massive win for your users. But it also leads to the next big question. Now that your images are taken care of, what's the next bottleneck? Because when it comes to web performance, the hunt for speed never really ends.